All right, welcome back to Conscious Evolution. I'm your host, Alan. I'm joined here today with the special guest, returning for the second time, Mr. Bryan Divisions.
What's up, brother?
How you
Thanks for
doing,
having me,
brother?
man.
Yeah, man, thanks for joining us. I
Mm.
really appreciate you coming on the channel. I know we have a lot of scheduling conflicts back and forth, but we make it work.
We do, man. We do.
I love it.
Busy guys making moves, man, but we make
So,
time.
hell yeah, man. So how you been, man?
Doing well, man. Like summer is my season, so I'm enjoying it, man. I'm making sure I get my vitamin D. Um, Getting a lot of exercising in, a lot of, some more social time, but a lot of business stuff too.
Hmm.
So just much more balanced. I'm feeling good, man. It's gonna
Good.
be a good week.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I know. The weather really does have an effect, especially I think on the East Coast, because the seasons are like the winter time, the trees are bare, and it's all just like
Hmm.
that. It's not
Long
real
and
exciting.
long and slow, man. But
Yeah, yeah.
it's like I know it's like we need that, but I'm like, man, I'm much more of like a summer type of person. Oh my
Mm.
goodness.
Yes, yeah. Spring till fall. That's
Hmm.
the best time of year for that. I
Hmm.
Yeah, it's kind of what's like appealing to me. I never thought of it like as far as like out on the West Coast that they don't really have seasons like that. Like the trees don't go bare and like it's always summertime, you know. And I didn't even I guess it makes sense it's tropical, but that's awesome. Like it's really appealing, I think.
Yeah,
All
bro.
right. So I wanted to ask you, I learned last night that, and I think you mentioned it on the last video, but you said you shot like videos with weddings and things like that, but I never really thought of it that
Mhm.
you like being the videographer. And yesterday I started thinking like wondering about like who shoots your videos? Are you doing that or are you? And then I found your Instagram page where
Mhm.
that's what you do. So like you have some videos of that, and I think that's really cool. So explain if you don't mind, like maybe you're like how do you do it? How do you make because your videos are awesome. Like I love your music videos. They're
Oh,
like
thanks, bro.
high quality stuff,
Mhm.
man. It's really well produced. So do you do
Mhm.
all of it? Like
Yeah, yeah, pretty much. It's really my girlfriend Jenny who shoots most of them, and sometimes I'll have some friends add in some different shots. But I do all the directing and all the editing. So pretty much, it's just like to me, it's the epitome of being able to take the message and not only take it from audio, but to do it with video and to show the story. That's why I really try to put a lot of time into it to actually tell a story in each video. So it might take me a little bit longer than I'd want. Like ideally we have a full-time videography business. So that's how I'm able to get all these skills and to sustain my livelihood as I grow my music career. And also helps me to invest in new equipment and get going and just keep it up. So it's like a kind of ongoing balance between more of like the 3D, what you got to do to make money right now, versus more of like the fifth dimension of like, I just want to be able to just make music all the time. So it's a good balance, man. But I mean, I've been making it all starts when I was younger, and I remember seeing movies and I was like, yo, why do movies look so cool? They look so much better than real life. So I started looking into like the different lenses that they use for film, and this was when I was like 15, 16, and pretty much like kind of mid 20s, I ended up buying a camera, and I started doing photos, and I started doing a few music videos for friends, and that's when I got my first like my toes kind of wet, and that actually spawned me wanting to be an artist because I'm filming rap music videos for friends, and I'm like, man, like this is awesome, but like I feel like I have something to say, man. So it kind of kind of went around full circle, and that's what gave me all the experience. So that when I went and jumped into my own videos, I was like, man, I already know how to edit. I got to have a little help with getting someone to help shoot. And once I started the whole Bryan Division's music thing, I mean, I was just starting my relationship with Jenny at the time. And so she comes in and she's already helping me shoot from day one, man. So she's day
wow.
one, bro. Yeah.
That's awesome. I love that. I love hearing the stories of how like your interest and skills evolve into like using it with your passion. Because I believe everything we learn in life is really just training for now, for what we're doing now and moving forward.
Mhm.
Um, but that's awesome. I've always been like a huge like movie buff up until like a few years ago. I was like super into it. So I know what you mean. Like it's like how they get the shots and all that. So I've recently been learning a little bit about that, but I don't know if I'm gonna take it to that extreme. But I'm just starting to learn all this with the channel. I had to figure out editing software and find one that worked and how to work. Like that's a lot of stuff to go through. I mean, I thought it was gonna be simple. I could just do a video and like upload it, and then it was like a little bit more involved than that, and I've
Mhm.
learned a lot. It's been a great learning experience for that. So I know you already did tell me that you write all your music. Do you make the beats too?
Yeah, I make
You did say
all my yeah, man, all my solo songs, I do all the beats. Usually with the collaborative songs, I like to bring in a producer and like another MC. I've been doing that a lot this year. Another one, shout out Cruz. He's a conscious cosmic MC as well. We put out a song Lotus, but um, everything else, all my solo songs, I do all the beats because it's just, to me, this stuff is all about just the full expression of my soul, so to be able to make the music and then the lyrics and then to be able to record it and figure out all that stuff. Like you're saying, like trying to learn how to edit and do all these things. It's like, it's like, an uphill thing. But once you figure it out, man, like the level of like worthiness you feel because you're like, oh, I figured it out and I can do it. And that's how I feel about the whole music thing. So everything is very, very, very like grassroots independent. Like I record everything right in here. I just was doing a new song last night, recorded it right on this mic right here and
nice.
produced it right here. And I'm going to mix it, master it like right here. And then we'll send it off. It's all everywhere else.
That's awesome. I love that. Absolutely love it. And what was your most recent song that you just put out? The collaboration?
Yeah, always connected with my boy,
Oh,
Witch
that's
Boy.
which
Yeah,
boy? Okay.
yeah. He's a good friend, man. I met him down here in Asheville a couple years ago, and he was doing like he had a duo going, and recently he's been kind of working on his own stuff. And it's cool because he'll go from, super, super conscious, like, in the lyrics, it's like 5D energy at my spine, to then he's got some more like raw, like real stuff that's like, just a little bit more side of, the both. He's got the duality. So
That's
it's
that's
really cool, man. Yeah,
very
it is. So when we get on a track, it's just like full on, like chakras all aligned, and then some of the other stuff is a little more like over there. But it's cool, man. He's a super well balanced dude, and I can see him just continuing his evolution too. So I think like his music too is just continually to get more and more expressive of like as he grows too, man. He's a good
sure.
homie.
That's awesome. I love
Yeah.
hearing that. That's very interesting to 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 have that balance. I think that's an interesting scale to balance there.
Yeah, yeah, you gotta listen to his other stuff, man.
I think I've heard it
Yeah.
because I didn't know. I think I saw the name and I didn't realize like he was the one that you collaborated with. And I heard like a different song and it was really like threw me because it was on the Spotify, like the random plays. I have
Uh-huh.
you and the other people you've collaborated with. They're just like mainly really all I listen to on there because that's the only reason I get on there. So it'll go off on those different artists too, and like some of the songs are like this isn't Bryan's music. Like it's not. This isn't
Yeah,
like the conscious part of it. I was like, okay, it's interesting.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah, and that's the thing. Like with mine, I just I really keep it more focused on just like very. It's just like my music world to me is like almost like a heaven, and and I definitely speak on more of like the negative emotions and the darker stuff. Like Dark Night of the Soul is a good example of that. More of my really deeper depressive states or like anger and like the sadness and all that because it's real. But I mean, there's an element that I just bring with my music that's more of like that inner thought dimension, you know. I don't talk a whole lot about the external world as much, and that's just like my own personal niche, you know what I mean? And I'm starting to bring a little bit more of that into it, but it's still within like a certain very like, I'd say very transcendent higher self level. Because when I can get on the mic, man, that's just where I can just like access a state where I normally might not always, I'm able to do that because, you know, I'm dealing with society and I'm just going with the motion of life. So I kind of keep it on this like very introspective level. And that's just kind of like, you know, it's like a nice little niche that I feel like I've carved out for myself and like the way I present my lyrics and stuff, you know.
Yeah, it's almost like you're like when you're in that, like you get in the zone. It's like I know when I'm like performing, no matter what it was. Like I used to play a lot of sports, so like whenever I get in any kind of performing mode, or even doing YouTube videos now, like I get in the zone, and it's almost like that. It's like an intense, enhanced level of focus. You know what I mean? It's like it's almost like a channeled state. It's probably the closest thing you can compare it to, where you're just like in that zone and that creative this just really starts to flow. And it's like I really enjoy being in that flow state, you know, because you're right, because you do have to deal with life and society and everything still, so it's not like that 100% of the time yet, and that's the goal for me, to be at that point. But you know, that takes some work. So
Mm-hmm.
that's awesome. And I love your music. I mean, it is deep, and it is in that realm of where most people won't say that. You know what I mean? It's just like, but you know, they're thinking that, especially if they're on this path like that.
Mm-hmm.
And it's on such a level. I was listening to your songs last night because you know you graciously said I could use one for my videos, and so I was trying to find something that I could edit, you know, a portion of it out and use it. And like once you start flowing, dude, it's just so intense, man. It's like there's no breaks. Like what I hear as a break is like a millisecond, or I'm trying to catch it to edit it out before the next one starts.
Yeah.
I think I texted you last night, like, dude, this is nuts. Like, I didn't even realize the full scope of like how intense this was until I started breaking it down and put it in my editing software. I was like, shit, like that's
Yeah.
all, dude. I love it.
Yeah. Appreciate that, dude. I pack a lot of words in a short amount of space.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, like the newer song I got last night, there's a couple spots where there's a little more breaks,
Mhm.
a couple words and a little pause. But man, I just the feeling I get in my body and my soul when I'm just spitting, oh man, it feels so good, and
And
like
that's
that's what it's
great.
about, bro.
Hell yeah. And that's how I feel when I listen to it. Is it's like, you know, you feel the beat building in, and then all of a sudden it hits, and it's like you're just gone. You're just going. And it's like I feel it, you know, I can feel it all the way rising, and it's just like like I love it. It's like the feeling I used to get when I listened to the like good rap artists, when I don't really engage in that music anymore. It's like if it's not to deal with this, I'm really not interested in it at all.
Yeah.
It's like I was so happy when I found your music, and that there are other people making this kind of music, and it's like it's so exciting to me. Like I can't even begin to express how excited I am that I can enjoy
Dope.
music again. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Mission accomplished, bro.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, I love it. So I know you just put out that song. So what are you doing now? Are you working on anything? New albums, new songs? Or?
Yeah, man. So I've got a song coming out on 2 weeks. So it's June 21st, and it's another collaboration. So it's with my longtime friend. It's cool. I'm going to his wedding too in a couple weeks, man.
Nice.
His wedding is the next day, but it's a producer, my buddy Tyler. He goes by Wizzo. So he makes a lot of bassy music, kind of like little mix of like bass nectar with some like cool emotions and stuff. And
Mhm.
man, he's like over the last year, his production is just like he's totally like blossomed into his own sound. So this song's called Sunset. So it's with him and my buddy Craig Tracy, who's like a new up and coming MC. So these are
Okay.
all Asheville area people. So that's really cool to be able to network with my homies here. And that song is so cool, man, because it's called Sunset. So it's about the light and the dark. So when the sun is up, everything's good. But then when the sun sets, oh man, here come like the darker energies and like all that. And the beat is perfect for it because the idea of the song came from the beat. because the beat has like this cool like reggae vibe during the verse, and then it just switches to this like super dark, dubstep-y kind of feel to it. It's a wild beat. So when we heard it, we're like, yo, we gotta do this. So that's coming out on June 21st. And then I've got a song called Reborn, which, man, I love it. This is one of my favorite ones. Yeah, it's all finished, but so with the music world, just as a side tangent, I want to put out albums, but to see a lot more just consistency, it's really good for musicians nowadays. I mean, we're in that world of like the single, so you hear one song at a time. So I'm actually thinking about taking the approach of just putting singles out. And then once I'm either close to the whole album being done or all the songs are out, then just push it as an album, But this song is called Reborn. Man, it's just very high energy, man. I've been able to perform it live a few times. I love it.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, it's one of my favorites, man. The bass line and just the vibe of it. It's very epic, man. It's just got weird. The vibes that it gives me is like almost like, I don't know. It wouldn't make. It probably doesn't even make sense, but like almost like a middle ages kind of like vibe to it. It's weird, man. You'll have to hear it. It's sick. I'll send you a version before everybody else too, man.
Oh, sweet.
And then and we got another one, a music video with my buddy Mark Yu. There's another collaboration with Mark Yu, who's a really good like soul, rap, kind of R&B even artist from up in New York. I'm really good friends with the beat produced by my brother, the Mixed Hippie. My real brother up in Maryland goes, my brother Brandon. And this song's called Linear to the Quantum. So, yeah, man, it's all about just riding that line and just seeing things instead of the linear perspective and seeing it from a quantum perspective. So we got the song and the music video for that. That's, and I'm probably going to drop that before the Reborn song because we've had that finished. So that's 3 that are fully done that are like ready, man. They're going to be out in the next month or 2.
Wow.
And then the We Are Gods video is coming out after that. So
yeah, we talked about that last time.
Yeah. Oh my God. I just gotta fill in like one more scene on that video, and that's gonna be good, man. In that video, I'm tied to a tree. We got 4 guys around me with torches, so they're essentially kidnapped me in the middle of the night, took me out in the woods, and they're gonna burn me. And that's the actual video concept is me rapping the lyrics of the song to these guys because it's all about being persecuted for what I believe in, which doesn't necessarily align with, some of the more normal religious point of view, especially in later times or earlier times.
Yeah.
So man, it was deep, man. And some of the guys working on it with me, they were going through some personal stuff with that same thing happened in their lives with their families and stuff. So it was this really cool process of doing it. Like it made everybody feel a lot more like, whoa, dude, we're able to kind of touch into these emotions and express them and get a little stronger from it, from having our own personal beliefs,
Yeah.
So a lot of projects, man. I'm trying to just keep it steady and consistent and just keeping stuff finished, so then this song I did last night, this one will come out after that. So if, for example, if I had to take a break or something, I already got stuff lined up that's going to be coming out, man. Just keep them moving, bro. You know how it is. You put a lot of content out, man. So exactly how it is.
I like to have something in the pipeline, just sitting there. And I still do. I think I have like between 3 to 12 videos that I could possibly use. But sometimes you make a video or something that's, I feel like it either passes the time where it's relevant at really like applies to something I was going through, or something shifts. But I've gone back before and used it, or used that same idea to redo that topic that I wanted to talk about. But that what you're talking about being like tied to the tree and burned or prosecuted for your beliefs is like, I think that is going to resonate with so many people, because that is like the hardest thing you go through when you first start awakening, and you have to start shedding those things that are no longer in alignment with your highest good, with your purpose, with your beliefs. And that's a difficult thing. It took me a long time to get through that, to be okay with, I knew the decisions I needed to make in order to move forward in my process, but they weren't really easy decisions, you know. It was something I was really attached to from that old energy and that old life that I, you know, created. And it's tough, man. You know, I went through a lot of really dark storms of being pushed out of that situation because I was resisting it and I was staying. So it was like being forced out. But I think that will literally resonate with everybody that's awakened and going to awaken. And that's really picking
Yeah.
up too. The amount of people that are waking up right now is just extremely increasing. And it's like
Yeah.
this, it's, I love it. It's like there's no going back. I think I said that in my video yesterday. It's like it's picked up and this light is just growing and growing. It's like a snowball effect, and it's not, you can't go back. You can't go back to sleep, you know.
Yeah.
It's on now.
Impossible.
Yeah,
Yep.
exactly. So
Hmm.
you said your brother is a mixed hippie. Is that what you said? Is that his
Yeah, he goes by the mixed hippie. So he's just like 17 months younger than me, man. He's like my best friend.
wow.
And he started producing maybe like I don't know, once I started rapping and doing my thing, he kind of was like, "All right, let me jump into this producer thing." Maybe like a year after. And what's so cool about it, man, is that his beats are so good, and it's all stuff that like I wish I made, because it just shows me so much more about like consciousness too and energy in general, because we're creating from this like very similar place, man. Like the beats that I make, he resonates with; the beats that he makes, I resonate with. And it's just like some of my favorite stuff I've ever heard ever is from him. So just like always connected, he produced that beat. And I mean, like, just to know that we're bringing this energy from the same place, and it's wild, man. Like, I'm about to go back up to Maryland for a month, or actually about a couple weeks next month. And he was like, "Hey man, do you want to just like spend 2 days and make like an instrumental EP?" And I was like, "Yes, let's do it. Just
Yes.
2 days straight. Just let's make some music and just chill, man. Like that's gonna be nice."
That's
So
awesome.
yeah, man. He's my homie, dude. He's my homie.
Yeah, man, you'll definitely have to let me know when you come up here. Cause where do you go? Are you going to Eastern Shore up that area?
Yeah, so like close to
Okay.
Ocean City.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm not, I'm like 3 hours from there. And I'm back in Maryland now. So yeah, definitely let me know. That'd be cool if we cross paths.
Oh, dude, definitely, man.
Oh yeah.
Come down to Ocean City for a little bit, man.
Yeah. Spent a couple days there.
Yeah.
Maybe get my brother out of the house for a little while. That'd be uh that'd be good.
Good, man. Yeah.
That's awesome. Um, okay, we still got a couple minutes here. Oh, that's what I want to ask you. So you said you performed your one song, "Reborn," a couple times, live performances. Do you do that often down there?
Yeah, man. So I set up shows, I space them out maybe like every couple months or so. So I mean, I've done probably a couple dozen live shows now, and it's to the point where, especially being like a solo independent artist, one of the things I do instead of just performing, man, I usually book the whole show. So that means going to a venue, setting up, agreement with them, and I'm booking like 4 hours worth of entertainment. So I'm getting other artists and people coming in to kind of create the whole show. And then I'll perform for anywhere from like 30 minutes to an hour, depending on the show setup, man. And that's like, honestly, that's my favorite thing, because as we talked about last time, being in a band and being able to perform and be on stage and just where it's live and it's real, that's my favorite thing, man. And that's when I can like really just like feel the music, get it going, look in people's eyes and just make that connection, man. So
That
I
that
try to,
energy.
yeah. So I try, I continually try, man, because that's the thing. As an independent artist, it's like a grind to figure out, okay, what works for me. Because what I just explained to you about doing the venues and stuff, that's actually like very challenging, because sometimes I just want to be the artist, man. I just want to show up, perform, and sometimes I'll get asked to be on shows, and then that's how I can handle that. Or I get to go different states and do different shows. But a lot of the times, it's more so entrepreneurial. So now I'm just looking at different formats to do that. another way we do it is with Jenny and myself. We have the Higher Vibes show. So she actually teaches a yoga class, and I rap during the yoga. And we've done a few of these, man, and it is sick. It goes well so often. So I have like my own PA system, my own lights. I've got my own setup, and we're planning on doing one in Maryland as well, bro. I just
Really?
Yeah, there's a yoga studio we did one at in December called Zena Wellness in Berlin, Maryland. And I just reached out to the owner again, who's a friend of mine, about doing one next month when we come up there. And so she's down. She's just looking at the calendar. So that might be the perfect time to come through, bro.
Dude,
Yeah.
Berlin's a little bit closer for me than Ocean City.
Yeah.
I think that's like halfway.
Oh, snap. It'll save
Yeah,
you like 15 minutes, 15, 20 minutes.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's still on the shore. You're still
It's
getting
out.
there.
Yeah, you're out. Yeah, you're out. Yeah. I think it's yeah. I, anyways,
But it'll save you a little bit, man.
you said
But
it
yeah,
was Zen awareness,
Zena Wellness.
Zena wellness.
Yeah.
I'll check
Yeah.
that out.
That's a nice studio. And man, I'm just excited because we have that ability to do that together with the yoga and the music, which I mean, so many of my fans are like yogis and massage therapists and people in the healing world. And then, I'll go to a club, on a Friday, Saturday night. And it's so funny because I'm I'm forced to push through the alcohol barrier. Because as you know, alcohol will kind of minimize and kind of suppress your awareness for sure. So when some people are drinking, it's not always a bad thing because sometimes it loosens them up, and it's weird because in an altered state of consciousness, it still is one, but they might be more prone to hear it, or they might be a little bit more prone to just completely like reject it and not just a complete block. So
Yeah.
that's like, I do my best because I'm not going to stop doing it at bars and clubs because especially the people who are like really getting drunk there, they're the ones who actually need to hear it. So
Hmm.
there's
Well,
that thing too, man. But I've
that
done festivals too where like, people are on more like psychedelics and stuff. And that's the surefire way to make a connection, man.
yeah.
When someone's on like acid or psilocybin and they're hearing my music, they get it, bro. They
Oh
get it.
yeah.
Is
On a
that
whole other level.
Yeah. I mean, like you see my DMT video, like I've had a lot of different psychedelic experiences, and that has given me a lot of awareness into altered consciousness and just more of outside the box. So myself right now, I've been sober from like everything since like October, but
Mhm.
having those experiences spaced out, I don't condone say doing acid like for like 7 days in a row. But I mean, if you do it here or there to expand your mind and your awareness in the company of, friends and people who are going to take care of you who just want to see things differently, I think that's what it's there for. It's all tools. It's not supposed to be just something like that you have to do all the time. I used to smoke weed every single day. Like I completely gave that up. I used to drink coffee every single morning. Now I got my H2O.
There
Like,
you go.
bro, like to me, to evolve is just not just like your perspective and just only opening your third eye and being able to see what the man's doing. But I mean, it's just like your own health, man. Like, what are we putting in our bodies? So it's like all of that goes into the music, all of that, the psychedelic experiences and then the sober experiences, like all of that, bro. It's just growth, man.
Yeah. Yeah, man. I've since October, I think, or November is when I really started, but I haven't drank in over a year. Well, no, maybe about a year. I think that was the last time I drank. And I don't drink, it's not my thing, but I still I've given up most everything. I still smoke cigarettes but I don't smoke weed. I haven't smoked weed in years. Um and I still have coffee. It's like those are my things, It's like I'm working on that, but I've changed everything else, and it's not like anything I'm like consciously trying to change. It's really just like those things kind of fall out of alignment, and like I've lost so much weight, like I'm back down to like a normal weight, like
Yeah,
graduated high school weight. You know what I mean? Like that's where I'm getting back
that's
to.
good, bro.
Yeah, like, and it's
Man, I'm
all natural, man. It feels good too. I feel good.
yeah. Yeah, I noticed, I started noticing myself. I just hated the fact that I was always super dependent on it. And like,
Mm,
everyone's different with how they, use coffee or this or that. But man, I was, first thing I had to do when I woke up, like I'd be have a horrible attitude unless I either made some or went out somewhere, and I was like spending all this extra money on it too. But I just hated the fact I was like, I just don't like being dependent on something. You know what I mean? Because I was addicted to like not just coffee, but caffeine in general for like 6, 7 years. So
mm,
every day
mm.
I'd have to have, you know, this coffee or yerba mate or matcha, or, I'd get like an organic energy drink. Like it's so much
That's
better. You know what I mean?
right. Hey,
Like, dude,
yeah, I went
I
down a
just,
dark road with energy drinks before.
yeah. Oh yeah. And like, I'll be taking a trip and then I'm like, oh, like, I'll get a 5 hour energy so I can drive home. And it's just like, and then that affects your sleep cycle and your ability to recover and your mindset. Yeah, man. So it's all just, to me, is just getting complete control over my mind and knowing that that's the source of it all. Like, I feel like our soul and our spirit speaks to us, and it's up for our mind to make that connection to implement those positive things. And then our body will follow suit from that. So it's this nice trifecta. So yeah, I've just been knocking stuff out too. But I do still, I actually do work, do some video stuff with a hemp farm and dispensary here, which is really cool, man. And I actually just, that's what allowed me to stop smoking weed, man. That I had some
Interesting.
hemp, and I realized like, whoa, I have this sense of relaxation, and I feel it in my body from the CBD, but
Mm,
I'm not getting the head high and the psychoactivity. And I was like, wait, this is probably why I've been smoking weed for the last few years anyways, just to relax and just kind of ground down. So now I smoke that time to time, but it doesn't need to be like a daily thing like say marijuana was before. And
mm.
man, they even have cigarettes now with
Yeah.
hemp. It's
Oh,
crazy,
really? Oh shit.
dude. Dude, I had a free sample one, and I think it's ingenious because it's got the paper, it's got the filter, and it's the hardest part of breaking any habit is just the fact that you're doing the habit. And if you're drinking coffee, for example, I moved to dandelion tea because it tastes, dandelion root tea, it
Mm.
tastes a lot like coffee, it looks like coffee.
Really?
And then I switched to that, and then I got off the caffeine dependence, and now it's just like I'm focused on this drink that's this color that's warm. And that's
Huh.
often why we like things, because of the way they feel or they taste or the temperature. It's just weird, man. But
Yeah, the ritual or the habit of the actual act itself is like,
Mhm.
with smoking or doing drugs, a lot of that is that's a huge part of breaking the addiction too, is to
Yeah,
find something like that. But that's
yeah.
awesome. I'm gonna check that dandelion root tea out because I'm actually looking into like doing certain cleanses and fasting. I'm really
Mhm.
gonna look into that and kind of do just like a spiritual quest, like I'm gonna go stay
Yeah.
out in the woods for a day or two and just be with me and really like get in touch with that inner child. And yeah, I'm excited about it. Like I'm really, it's like
Oh,
a
dude,
it's like an
that's
old
gonna be good.
like a it's I forget what they call it, a vision quest. That's what they call it, like
Hmm.
shamanistic vision quest. I'm learning about. I'm really excited about it.
Bro, that'll be good, man.
Yeah.
I think everybody should do something like that. Just take some time to like self-reflect and just see, what I mean, see what's going on, because man, our lives are busy, man. Like, we
Yeah.
got a lot of stuff going on, constantly having to just keep the wheel going, keep the money in, pay the bills and stuff. So it's
Mm.
hard. It's hard. Even if we want to, sometimes it's hard to just sit back and reflect. So like you're saying, man, take a couple days to just, this is what I'm doing, man. I'm just gonna ground down. I'm just gonna go out in the woods and nature, and that's the best place to be, man.
Mhm. Yeah.
Go
Let's
out.
turn everything off and just be and
Mhm.
and get to know myself better because we're always, no matter like how tuned in and where you are, there's still distractions everywhere. Like, and I live in the woods basically, and it's still everywhere, and it's
Mhm.
constant. So it's like just to separate and power down your devices and just ground down and really get in touch with nature and yourself. And I'm really looking forward to it. And you got to run now, don't you? 9:44. So
Yeah, that'll be good for me, man.
yeah,
Get the rest of this day going, brother.
awesome. So definitely keep in touch with me about when you're heading out to Maryland. I'll see if we can work something out. And yeah, that works good.
That's gonna be nice, man.
So you want to say real quick how to get a hold of you, websites and such?
Oh, definitely, man. Appreciate that. So
Hmm.
again, I'm Bryan Divisions, BryanDivisions. So you can find all my stuff online at bryandivisions.com. Also on all the major streaming services. Of course, YouTube, where all my music videos are hosted. But yeah, Spotify, iTunes, Apple Music, Facebook, Instagram, all that good stuff. Reach out to me, send me a message, comment on one of my YouTube videos. I try to respond to everybody. I appreciate all the support because it totally means a lot to express these messages and for it to connect with people. So just say hi. I want to know who you are, and look forward to like hopefully playing in your town one day. You feel me? That'd be
Yeah,
nice, man.
that'd be real nice. Yeah, we're sitting. Actually, I'll talk to you about it off camera. So thanks everybody for joining us. I hope you enjoyed the show. Extended version of getting to know Mr. Bryan Divisions. If you haven't heard his music, look into it. I'll put links below for everything. And thanks for joining us. Be the change that you want to see in this world. And we love you.
Love y'all. Peace.
I know that we're on the same path, even when it feels bad. We're on the right track. Together we're all in. We thought we were falling, feeling like I'm falling. I can hear it calling. Been dreaming for this day to come and staring at the sun, walk in the woods and fill my lungs with the breath of nature. The shift is major, no other time in history have we been safer. When we think about where we are from and how we would run from oppressors, but now we have won, moving from the danger. It's love we favor, we found the key and opened up the chamber. And now I'm just finna coast through this universe, get the most that I can, have a toast for committing to plans, yeah, and quench my thirst. I've been on the search for where my soul should land. I broke the curse, what could be worse than thinking that you can't? Cause you can do anything you wish. You are the living embodiment, the energy of love, never ending, yeah, you're infinite. So feel the bliss as we shift to expanded consciousness. Don't resist, find your gifts, your soul has always wanted this. Your soul has always wanted this. I know that we're on the same path, even when it feels bad. We're on the right track. Together we're all in. We thought we were falling, feeling like I'm falling. I can hear it calling. Thoughts in my mind, passing the time, feeling enthralled by design and the trials of my life, releasing the strife. I can use breath, 12D, activated energy at my spine. Never you mind, ritual spell cast all from the same source, same thing, same source. The life we create means much more. What you think you're even playing this game for? There's nothing you need to do to be lucid. Access your will and use it. Access the field and use it. The whole world in your hands if you choose it. You've always been good enough, but only stop by the effort to your own will. Be still. Just feel and know deceptions of our past won't last, we can outgrow. And so it goes when in lessons we get tested by our own roads. It's how we go, it's the reason for the purpose that your soul chose. You're a god and you know it. Ascension, we chose it. For this MMO, we show we don't have to swerve off of the road, but you know this.